I could have never thought of my journey to be the way it was, and that I would get into and be a specialist in domestic violence. And it started really right from the beginning. When I was starting to do my counseling work, you have to do things as a student and intern. And so I was working at the juvenile hall in Riverside County, and I was assigned a case. He was a 16-year-old kid, great-looking kid, a football look, clean cut. And I started to hear his story. He grew up in a home. He's an older brother of 3 siblings, and his father was abusive. And we have to remember this is way back into the 90s. And he would abuse his mom. The police would come. They would say, knock it off, go away for the night. But he would come back and the abuse would continue. The mom would try and take the kids to a relative's house. But he would go to the relative's house, follow them, and take them all back home and beat her even more. And he would say to her, no matter where you go, what you do, I will find you and take you back home. So this oldest guy, who was somebody I was talking to in juvenile hall, he was hearing that the police would come, they did really nothing, they run to the relative's house, nothing happened except that they would always come back and his mom would get abused further. So one night he waited for his father to fall asleep, and once he was asleep, he got the shotgun and shot him once in the head and killed him. And this guy was ultimately tried for murder, premeditated murder, and got life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. He was helpless. That story did something to me, and that was one of the things that created my journey. I was starting also my practice in Riverside, and my pastor's wife was a corporal in the county jail, and she was in charge of programming, and she had heard me speak about heart therapy, and she said, my guys in jail would really like to hear that. And so I would go in during my lunch break and share with them and talk to the day room, and so these guys would finally say to me, we have to do this class, 52 weeks. Do you do it? And I said, well, let me check. Well, I got certified, both ultimately in Riverside County Court, San Bernardino County Court, Criminal Court, Family Court, and CPS. And so for the next 20-some years, I've really been working in the area of domestic violence. Never could have planned it. And so when I start thinking about the heart, and I would see how much the heart was destroyed to cause these types of things, I know I needed to focus on it. I think all of our hearts have 6 core emotions. I can categorize all the thousands and thousands of feeling words into fear, anger, hurt, joy, love, peace. Now, this is for all of us. We all share these feelings. We all understand the need and have access. These are not wrong or bad feelings. These are the feelings of our heart. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, is what Proverbs says. With all your heart. So if anybody would ask, what type of therapist am I? I'm a heart therapist. And another kind of separation now between men and women, men will think first, followed by their feelings. Women will feel first, followed by their thinking. There's not one that's better or wrong, but it sometimes can be the abrasive of where things start separating between people's thoughts and hearts. Because you're going to hear that the key to good counseling, the key to healing, the key to living is knowing that our heads and hearts are connected, our thoughts and feelings. And we need to be able to share our thoughts with our feelings. Feelings, again, of fear, anger, hurt, joy, love, and peace. And this creates a balance for all of us to maneuver and get through all the things that life brings us. So these aren't necessarily good or bad emotions. And we have to understand that through time, we can kind of, some people share some emotions a little bit more than others, but ultimately we need to be able to know, share, feel, listen, talk, fear, anger, hurt, joy, love, peace. Now, how does this get messed up for the abuser? Well, I have a story to share. Think of a child on a tricycle. In the front, on the sidewalk, going zoom, 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 zoom. He tips over, falls over, skins his knee. He stands up and does what? I heard cries. He stands up and looks for Mom. He runs down the driveway, opens up the kitchen door, sees Mom, and now he cries. He didn't cry until then. So he runs in and he goes, Mom, look at what happened. It's just like, I was gonna hide. It looks like, oh my. And if Mom is doing her job, puts him up on the counter, listens to his story, thought, with his feelings, his heart and head being heard in a time of trouble. And are you doing better? He asked. Do you feel better? He asked. And he said, yes. Do you think you're okay now? Yeah. Sets him down, runs outside, and ready to take on the world like nothing happened. All with his bumps and bruises, ready to take on the world again for the next time he hurts his knee. Well, let's change the scenario. Zoom, 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 zoom. Falls down, stands up, runs into the door, sees Mom. Mom! Mom yells back, no, I don't have time for that right now. But Mom! No, I don't have time for that. Mom! What does he do? Leaves. Discouraged. No one heard him. Zoom, 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 falls over, skins his knee, tries to go to Mom again. Mom! No, your father's coming home very soon. I don't have time for this. Just get out of here, I say. Slams the door. Pushes his younger brother. He's out angry. He kicks the dog. Zoom, 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 zoom. Falls down, stands up, runs, looks for Mom. Sees Mom. Does nothing. Doesn't go to try to talk to her. Because he's already learning now, I'm on my own. I got to figure this by myself. Nobody's here to help me. When I'm hurt, I have to now take care of me. I have no one to count on. No one to talk to, no one to trust, no one to care, no one to help me feel better after I get hurt. I'm on my own. The trouble is that 5-year-old turns to 15. And that 15-year-old does what? Now he finds alcohol, drugs, sex, and these things start making him feel good. But it's feel good for him. Because his head and heart are disconnected. He's now in defense mode. He is building a wall around his heart, but he wants to feel good. But he now has to do it artificially through drugs and sex. This 15-year-old now grows up to be 25. He's in a relationship. She wants to talk. And she does. He does. But he talks for the motivation of what? To have sex. Because these guys tend to be more pleasure-seeking. And so he will tolerate the talking, especially at first. They get married. And now it starts becoming work. He has a wall around his heart. He's really having to work hard to try and listen. He says, he just kind of takes that out. So here she wants to talk, and he's going, no, I don't have time for this. And he starts pushing away and using all the tools of anger to make her feel, again, that she's the problem. Why do you come to me? I work so hard. Why are you doing? Because he doesn't know how to talk or listen because of that wall that was built through the tricycle story.